Hello everybody and welcome back to Art a la Carte. Today I'm going to show you two different drawings. They're both going to be of rainbow unicorns. The first one, I'm going to do a very simplistic one that a beginning artist could really try. And then the second one, I want to talk a little bit more about why it's important to keep practicing. So first, let's start off with the simple horse drawing, unicorn drawing video. For the first step, I'm going to make two circles for the head. One slightly larger, that's for the main skull, and then the smaller one for the muzzle. I'm going to wrap a line around that, and that's basically the horse head. The next step is to bring down the neck. Now, the thing to think about with the neck is that it tapers larger as it gets to the chest. So you'll see that the distance between the neck at the base and the neck at the chest are a little bit bigger. Next, I'm going to add in two circles for the chest and the rump, and then connect those two with the backbone. After I've connected the backbone, then I'm going to go ahead and connect in with the underbelly. Now you're going to notice that both of these lines are not completely straight. They have a little bit of a curve to them. Let's move on to the legs, which I'm going to use a simple line down the middle, and the length between the shoulder and the foot is about the same distance from the chest to the rump. So if you kind of eyeball that, you'll get the measurements kind of in the same direction. The back leg can be a little bit tricky, so I'm going to make this kind of curved line that goes straight down, then curves back and then down. Back legs are tricky and can be frustrating, so don't get frustrated, just keep practicing and you'll get it. So for the hooves on both of them, you're going to see that the leg kind of cuts in a little bit for the hoof part itself, and then the hooves are kind of like triangular shape. Again, this is all really simple shapes and lines put together. Not to say that it's simple to draw. If you're a brand new artist or a beginning artist, horses are hard, but breaking them down to simple shapes can really help. Also, having them broke down to simple shapes means you can move those shapes around, so you don't have to have the legs in the same position all the time. It's easy to then move a leg up into a walking or trotting or pawing position. And basically, that's it. I say basically with, again, saying some people find horses really, really hard. It took years and years of practice for me to feel comfortable drawing horses. But we're not drawing a horse today. We are drawing a unicorn. So I'm going to place in the ears up here and then add in the horn. Now this next part, I'm going to do supersonic fast speed. I'm going to ink everything in. But you'll notice that I am not inking in the parts where the mane and the tail come in. That's because we're going to make this a rainbow unicorn. For the rainbow part, you can use any coloring medium you want, markers, colored pencils, crayons, whatever. I got this fun kind of marker pen set from one of my previous Smart Art boxes and decided I wanted to play around with them. So the first thing was I organized them in a rainbow color pattern. And there is a really fun saying to remember how the colors go in rainbows, but I can't remember what it is right now. So if you know what it is, let me know in the comment section below. Now, like I said, in this video, I'm showing you two different versions. This is the kind of beginner horse version. And then I'm going to jump over and show you how I create a more finished piece. Now, this comes with years and years and years and years of practice and the importance of studying anatomy, because in the first version, we used two circles and some lines. In the second version, I'm going to use a lot more. Also, knowing what art medium you want to use with your creation means you need to know what kind of paper you're going to choose. I want to do this with watercolor, so I'm going to use one of my favorite brands for doing watercolor, which is the Fluid brand. And this is actually blocked paper. That means that it's secured on a couple of different edges. For this one, it's the top and the bottom, and this helps the paper not to warp as much when a lot of water is added. I am not going to go step by step with this one because there's a lot to talk about. In fact, I have a ton of videos on drawing horses and I take it step by step and show you. So if you'd like to see those, a little more information on how I got all the bits and bobs on this horse's head, I will put links to those at the end of this video, or you can definitely just check out my video archives. So I've sped this up. I have the basic outline done for my unicorn. For this one, as you can see, I'm just doing the head and shoulders. And I want to do something fun with the actual mane and forelock, but before I can do that, I need to paint the actual horse or unicorn. It's a unicorn. Something I get asked a lot as well is, how do you color a horse that's white or anything that's white? And for that, I'm going to use a very light shade of purple. Now, depending on what the cast shadows are, you could use purple or blue or grays. But because I want it kind of a magical horse, I'm going to use a little bit more purples and hints of pink. And just for fun, I might throw a little bit of green in there. It'll give it that kind of pearlescent look to it. When I put all the paints down, I'm going to give it a good amount of time to dry. I want this paper super, super dry before I move on to the next step, because this step is drip painting. It is really fun and crazy and a little scary because you don't know exactly where the paint is going to go. So the first color I started off with is red, which after I placed this drip of red upon the unicorn's head, really decided I should have started with a different color because, I mean, it looks a little on the gruesome side. But don't worry, we add a few more colors in a minute and won't look as gory. For this drip effect, I have the paper really flat and I've added a lot of water to my paint. And then once I have the base starting shape the way I want it, I'm going to tip my paper upright so that gravity then begins to work with me. Now, there are two ways you can do this. You can totally leave this up to chance, where you're just going to kind of shake the paper slightly just to force that drip to go, and wherever it goes, that's where it's going to go. Or you can guide your drop, which is what I ultimately intend to do. Because I didn't want it to go completely over the horse's eyes at this point, so I kind of guided it around the horse's face, but still letting gravity pull it downward. This is a really fun technique. And if you're doing this with watercolor, which I guess you would have to do this with watercolor because you couldn't do it drip effect with, colored pencils. You might be able to do this drip effect with crayons because they do that where they heat the crayon up and the wax melts, but it would be slightly different. But with watercolor, you can start off by using your three primary colors. So I have red, blue, and then I'm going to go in with yellow. And the fun part about that is where the red and blue meet, you're going to get a really nice purple. And where the yellow and blue meet, you're going to get this nice green. Goes right into that nice little rainbow effect. But this is about having fun, using the colors how you want to use them, and being a little bit brave, because even with the guiding the drip, there was a couple of times the drip just went, I'm going my own way. And you just kind of have to work with it. I wanted to take the rainbow all the way down the neck of the horse. The only thing that I didn't like was that my watercolor paints were very translucent, so you could see through them, and therefore you could see the shading that I did on the horse's neck. I hadn't intended to make the mane as thick and full, so when I started playing with the colors, it's a little bit too transparent for me, especially in the yellow, but overall I really like how this effect turned out. If you've tried drip painting before, whether it's on a unicorn or whatever, I would love to see your pictures. So if you haven't followed me on social media, I have a Twitter account, Facebook account, and Instagram account. And I will let you know right up front that the Instagram account is the one that I pay the most attention to. So if you'd like to share your artwork with me, you can definitely find those in the description box below. And tag me in your photos so I can see them. Well, I hope you found this video interesting and encouraging, and maybe you want to go out and try to draw your own unicorn and drip some rainbow paint. If you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Also, if you want to be one of the first people to see my videos, make sure to hit the notification bell. That way you'll get notified every time I upload a new video, which my next video, here's a slight sneak peek. I am going with super small art, and that video is going to be coming out on Monday. So until then, God bless you guys, and we'll see you in another art video. Bye-bye!